Today on Judge Alex. He claims they were more than just friends.
We had a date. I had to tell her, like, hey, we've been going on a couple of dates, and I see you're not putting out any money, but I'm putting out all the money.
Okay.
So next thing you know...
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. That is a lie. I'd never dated him. He used to cut my son's hair.
And now he's suing for the belongings he allegedly left behind when he quit working at her salon.
She would not accept the money. I had to go and get the police to...
Why did you go back? Why did you go back at night that evening to get your stuff? Why not come back the next day? Why are you coming in the dark of night?
Today, it's a case of the bizarre in Judge Alex's court.
He did just so
Something
many
more?
bizarre...
What was the next bizarre thing?
One time I walked in the salon and he was conducting a karate class. Yes, I walked in.
He was sparring.
Yes,
That's
sparring.
not true, Your Honor.
Ha! All this stuff going on, and I got my client, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
I knew what sparring was,
What's
but I
going
appreciate
on?
your dramatizing it for me.
As a cop, he stood up for the law. As a trial lawyer, he fought for the truth. And as a criminal court judge, he commanded authority. Now he returns to preside over America's courtroom. Judge Alex. Dimitri Valentino is suing Sean Millhouse for $2,000 for items he claims he left behind when he was forced to stop working at her beauty salon. Sean says she put up with Dimitri's strange behavior while he worked out of her salon, only to have him skip out on the rent. She's countersuing for unpaid rent, barber fees, and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Alex Ferrer presiding.
Thank you. Please be seated. Mr. Valentino,
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
you're suing the defendant, Ms. Millhouse, because you say you rented a booth at her salon.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're a barber?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you say that you got a disagreement with her over the rental fees, and basically she kept some of your property, she wouldn't give it back to you, and you're suing her for that and also for the loss of work.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Millhouse, you say you gave him back all of his property, and you're counterclaiming for the booth rental fees that he owes you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How'd this start, sir?
Sir, first of all, my name is Dimitri Valentino from Cincinnati, and I come this far for nothing, and I'm going to win this case with the truth to seek justice. So,
I like your passion.
thank you, sir.
Let's just get to what happened.
So, what happened is, starting on the February the 1st of this year, when I was looking for another place to take my barbering business, I ran into Sean after knowing her for 2 years.
Okay, so let's start with how you first met her.
07 at the festival, which was on the street of McMillan in Cincinnati.
The street festival.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I was passing out cards to get more customers.
And how long you been a barber?
10 years.
Okay, so and you meet her at the festival?
Yes, sir. We had a date in the evening, and next thing you know, I had to tell her, like, hey, we've been going on a couple of dates, and I see you're not putting out any money, but I'm putting out all the money.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So next thing you know...
Excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. That is a lie. I'd never dated him. He used to cut my son's hair. I met him at the festival. That's true. He was passing out cards.
I object, sir. That was,
Excuse me?
What exactly is your legal objection?
Because my legal objection is I cut her son's hair after the dates.
Okay, that's not an
Oh,
objection.
wow.
This is all right.
Wow.
Let's stick away from objections because you're not a lawyer and you don't know what they're limited to. So let's just go with you tell me your version, she'll tell me her version. So okay, so you're telling me he's making up the fact that he dated you?
Yes, sir. We did a business lunch. He was coming.
Did he ever say to you, I'm paying for everything, you should be paying for part of this?
Never.
How does he end up working with you?
He came to me because he was fired from the shop that he was at.
Why was he fired?
He told me that the guy was overcharging him for rent and he refused to pay it, and they had some type of dispute. He was putting the man's business out.
So I don't care why the two of you, why fate brings you together anymore. So let's start with you're together. He comes to you, or she comes to you and says, let's work together. So what's the agreement? How much are you gonna pay in booth rent?
100. Well, the first agreement was this.
How much?
$70.
Okay. Is that what he was supposed to pay you?
No, sir. My rent is $125 per week.
Did he ever pay you 70?
He never paid me the $70.
Did he ever pay you the 125?
One time.
Okay. So when did the problem start?
After April, sometime in April, there was a fight between two women that lives behind the building of her shop, and I had to witness that fight and break up the two women and the child that was involved,
okay,
a teenager. And it seemed like, what happened was spiritual warfare started breaking out upon me because I was brought to court to be a witness.
So what was the spiritual warfare?
The spiritual warfare was one of the women that was in the fight was attacking me verbally.
You mean threatening you?
She didn't ever threaten.
Okay, so she was verbally attacking you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so she's verbally attacking you, and now that's the spiritual warfare you're talking about.
And also, she knows these women.
Why is that spiritual warfare?
Because
why isn't that just annoying?
Because
that just annoying?
the woman is addicted to crack cocaine, and
that makes it spiritual. How?
No, because of the evil, me being a Christian man, and she knew that I was a God-fearing man, and I presented her with a prayer one day to help out her life, and I seen how it was coming against me reversibly.
Okay, let's get past that part. So he starts working with you.
Yes.
And he's paying the rent, and you tell me there's no problem.
Right.
So when did the problem start?
The problem started with the bizarre events that would go on in the salon.
Which were what?
He was holding, one time I walked in the salon and he was conducting a karate class. Yes. He was
in a barbershop?
In a hair salon, yes. He was karate sparring. I walked in.
He was sparring?
Yes,
That's
sparring.
not true, Your Honor.
All this stuff going on,
Well,
and I got my client, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
I knew what sparring was,
What's
but I
going
appreciate
on?
your dramatizing it for me.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. It was unbelievable.
Okay, well, what is your martial arts training, sir?
Wing Chun.
Coming up, did Dimitri owe Sean for more than just a booth rental?
I came in the salon and I found out he was living in my salon and he was sleeping on my facial chair. He was using the salon as his apartment.
Were you living there at the time? Did you live there for a while?
Where?
Did you live at my house? What do you think we're talking about?
And later, what new information will Sean's witness reveal about this case?
Mr. Merriweather, what do you know about this case, sir?
If you'd like to contact Judge Alex, call toll-free 1-800-854-7303 or log on to judgealex.com.
What else happened?
He hung up posters of Bruce Lee, you know, Malcolm X, and political
so
leaders.
and
all kinds of political leaders, and I explained to him that has to come down.
You don't want your salon politicized.
He did just so
Something
many
worse?
bizarre.
What was the next bizarre thing?
The next bizarre thing, I came in and he was conducting a chess match at my manicuring station.
A chess match?
Chess. He had a bunch of older men sitting in my waiting area and they're playing chess.
Not a bunch of older men. It was only one man. She didn't have a man.
Technically, you need more than one man to play chess.
Yeah.
Well, when do you leave and why do you leave? Because you two aren't working together. What happened?
Okay, the last Saturday of August, that lady's daughter who I spoke to. I said, she said, I called the police.
Short version. You were still having problems with this woman.
Yes.
And you decided you don't want to work there anymore.
Right, because.
See how easy that was?
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So now you decide to leave. So what happens when you decide to leave?
Okay. She left out at about 12. And she said she'd be right back. It was another barber in there cutting hair who she didn't tell me was going to be working in there.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Was this barber a witness of yours? Because you listed somebody here.
His name is Stephen Merriweather.
Let's bring Mr. Merriweather in, please.
He was living in the salon, Your Honor.
Who was living in the salon?
Mr. Valentino, I came in the salon and I found out he was living in my salon and he was sleeping on my facial chair. Living there.
That's a lie,
He got
Your Honor.
evicted.
That's not
I'm
true.
sorry,
You weren't living there.
I have an apartment.
No, well, now he has an apartment. He was using the salon as his apartment.
Were you living there at the time? Did you live there for a while?
Where?
Your Honor, I have pictures.
At her salon?
I have pictures.
Did you live at my house? What do you think we're talking about?
I lived at my house.
Okay, where did you think we were discussing right now? She just accused you of living in the salon.
That's a lie.
He was sleeping on the facial chair.
Mr. Merriweather, what do you know about this case, sir?
Well, before he left on Saturday, he said, tell Sean to get with me about the money that I owe her.
Coming up, will Dimitri finally give Judge Alex a straight answer?
Explain to me why you're asking him to not lock this certain lock And on top of that, you have a separate witness who says she is outside later that night on Saturday and sees you and someone else come with empty boxes and try to get into the salon with these empty boxes.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
It's time for America to vote on today's case. Who do you think I should rule for, the plaintiff or the defendant?
Call toll-free 1-800-282-2333 to vote now and find out how the rest of America votes. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-2333 now.
How much did you owe her at the time?
Only $100. My booth rent was $100 after she told me.
No, you
none.
Okay. How much did he owe you?
He owed me for 2 weeks' rent.
Okay. All right, go ahead. So he told you that he'll get with her about the rent.
He told me that. And then he also said, before he left, that don't lock the bottom lock. And this was only my second day there, and I didn't understand it at first, and he was like, don't lock the bottom lock.
Does he have a key to the bottom lock?
He evidently only has a key to the bottom
It's
lock.
to the top lock, sir.
Oh, yeah, the top lock.
Okay.
So she gave me a key to the bottom lock
So he was
on
asking
Saturday.
you when you left not to lock the bottom
He
lock.
was asking me not to lock the bottom
The
lock.
top lock, sir.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the only key that I have a key.
I got it.
Right.
Don't interrupt again.
Yes, sir.
So he took the opportunity to leave while she had left. She left to go get me a key, and he didn't know what key I was getting. And so when he came back, he was leaving. He was trying to leave while she was gone. And so he left, and then that was his admonishment to me was don't lock the bottom lock.
Did he know how
lock.
long she would be gone?
No.
Did you tell him how long you were going to be away?
I said, I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I have a witness.
Who's your witness?
I had a witness that I don't know if you saw the video statement of my witness. She called me at 11 o'clock at night and told me she saw Mr. Valentino trying to gain interest in the salon with 2 big boxes, him and his girlfriend.
I have a witness statement, a video statement you sent in.
Yes.
And I listened to the statement. It's not great quality, so I
Okay.
don't have it in here, but I listened to the statement, and the woman says exactly that. So, Mr. Valentino, now that I understand what that woman is talking about,
Yes, sir.
explain to me why you're asking him to not lock this certain lock, and on top of that, you have a separate witness who says she is outside later that night on Saturday and sees you and someone else come with empty boxes and try to get into the salon with these empty boxes.
Yes,
Why?
sir. Okay, let me get to that here.
No, get to it now.
Okay.
Right now.
She didn't come right back to the shop.
Get to why you were outside the salon with empty boxes that night.
Okay. I was outside the salon. I went back to get my things in the evening
Why?
because she would not accept the money. I had to go and get the police to.
Why did you go back? Why did you go back at night that evening to get your stuff? Why didn't you pack it up and leave that afternoon?
Oh, okay. I rode my bicycle to the shop. I didn't have no one to come.
Oh.
And
Why not come back the next day? Why are you coming in the dark of night with empty boxes if you're not trying to skip out on the rent?
Well, I wasn't trying to.
So why did you come that night?
Because I had someone with me to help me get my things.
At night?
Yes,
But
sir.
but
Because
on
she
Sunday you
oh,
can't get somebody to come with you.
I asked when Saturday.
Oh, I am so done with this story.
Thank you.
No, sir. This is what it is.
No. Okay.
Coming up, Judge Alex calls Dimitri out.
He says, you didn't give me all my stuff. You didn't give me my $115 worth of DVD movies, which she claims you were selling bootleg movies.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
He
No,
was
sir.
selling bootleg
You're really
DVDs.
giving a totally new definition to a Christian man in this case. You understand
Yes.
that,
Those
right?
are my personal movies.
It's time for America to vote on today's case. Who do you think I should rule for, the plaintiff or the defendant?
Call toll-free 1-800-282-2333 to vote now and find out how the rest of America votes. You'll also receive some valuable offers. Call 1-800-282-2333 now.
This is what happens. You leave. You're not planning on paying her the booth rent if you can get out of there without her knowing. So you come back at night hoping to get in because you're hoping that Mr. Merriweather, who doesn't know really what's going on, is going to leave the bottom lock unlocked. You're going to open the top lock with your key, get in, assemble all your stuff, leave, and go work somewhere else merrily. And she gets stuck with not collecting her $125 that you claim you owe her. So what happens is you get there and you can't get in. So now you come back for your stuff, and she says, I'm not giving you your stuff because you owe me rent. And apparently, according to your complaint, you call the police and they come out and they say, you got to give him his stuff, and you give him his stuff.
Yes,
So
sir.
he says,
She only gave me
he
a
says,
small
you didn't
amount.
give me all my stuff. You didn't give me my DVD player with remote, which was apparently $25 DVD player with remote. My $115 worth of DVD movies, which she claims you were selling bootleg movies.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
He
No,
was
sir.
selling bootleg
I mean, you're really
DVDs.
giving a totally new definition to a Christian man in this case. You understand
Yes.
that,
Those
right?
were my personal movies.
No, it
Those were
wasn't.
my personal movies.
Let's just start with the whole not paying rent.
I took the case. I took my point to the police station and had the police